What's up guys, Matt here, and today I'm doing a review of the S-60 stabilizer. Now, this stabilizer is definitely a budget-friendly stabilizer, coming in at $70 compared to the HD glide cams that are around $400, $500 or even higher. This is pretty much the same thing as those glide cams minus a few features, but the same result will come from both of them. Now in a little bit I'm going to show you guys what it looks like to put your camera on here and how to get that thing set up and everything. But one thing you should know is that all stabilizers take a lot of practice, and some people make a stabilizer look bad. Just know that these stabilizers look better with someone who has practice. Now I'm not the best at them, but I think I can get a pretty good looking shot out of them. Another thing to note is that you need to get the right weight stabilizer. The S-60 is good up to 7 pounds. So if you have a heavy DSLR, you may want to look into something a little different, although the Micro Four Thirds lines work perfect for the stabilizer. I'll have a link down below so you can see the exact stabilizers I got. Now there's a lot of brands that make this. I think this one's Sutefoto, not really sure how to pronounce it, but I got the one that was $70 on Amazon. They all kind of have the same name, S60, T60, but they're all pretty much the same thing. This one in particular comes with extra weights and a bag, so if you need to put more weights on, you can do that. I actually only have one weight on here for my G85, but I'm going to throw my GH5, which I'm filming with right now. I'm going to throw that onto the stabilizer, and I may have to do a little bit more weight, but I'll take you through that process of adjusting and setting up your stabilizer. So without any further ado, let's get right into using the stabilizer and show you what it looks like.
Alright, so it's pretty easy to set this thing up once you get the hang of it. What I like to do is grab the quick release plate, and I like the long end to be kind of facing towards you, so just screw that in like you would a normal tripod quick release plate. So once you have the quick release plate on like this, you just slide it into the stabilizer like you would a normal tripod. Another thing to keep in mind when you're putting it back on is that you kind of want to line the main part of the stabilizer up with the exact middle of the camera body, like in between the lens and the body right here. Kind of keep that aligned, and it'll help you when you're balancing it out. Alright, so now in order to adjust this to get it stabilized correctly, it's pretty simple. The first thing you want to do is what they call the drop test, and you put the stabilizer like this, horizontally, and you just drop it. And you usually want to be about 2 to 3 seconds, so you'd count 1, 2, till it hits the bottom, and 2 is about a good number. 2 to 3, you don't want it too long or too short, and that'll give you a good idea of where to put it. In order to adjust that though, you'd either add more weights to the bottom here, and usually come with more weights in the bag. There's about 4, one set of these really heavy ones and 2 of these smaller ones. Now with the GH5, I only need to put these 2 heavy ones on here. And also there's a knob here, you can move it up and down. I'm not going to do that here, actually I already have it adjusted pretty good, but you can move the length down or up based on your drop. If it's dropping too quickly, you'd want to move it up, and if it's dropping too slow, you could drop it down more. Now, the next thing you'll find out is that it might be leaning more to the side or either forward or backwards. In order to adjust that, pretty simple idea. You just use the knobs on here, on the front and the side to adjust that. If it's leaning to the right more, for example, you'd adjust the knob and slide it to the left to counteract that. If it's leaning forward, you slide the camera back a little bit. The whole idea is to get the camera on the exact center of the tube here, and that's going to keep it the best balance. Now once you have it balanced, you should be able to move it around and it stays pretty stable. You can always kind of tweak and perfect it, but you can only get it so good. Once you find it at a good balance, you can go ahead and start recording. So let's test it out and see what it looks like. And one other thing is holding the stabilizer. There's actually a proper way to do it. I know a lot of people like to hold the grip with their non-dominant hand and then adjust the angle of it with their dominant hand. I find that using my dominant hand to hold it, I feel a little bit more comfortable. It's all about whatever's comfortable to you, but for the most part you want to hold it and you actually slightly tilt the camera with your other hand, like with your fingers. You're not twisting this thing like a madman. You kind of want to let it go with the flow, but if you do need to kind of tilt it, you use your fingers here, and that's kind of how you hold it. And remember, it is definitely a forearm workout, so be prepared for that. The heavier your camera is, it's going to be about doubled with a stabilizer, so just keep that in mind. So I'm going to show you how to walk with it. There's actually kind of a way to walk with the camera properly, and you can't just run around with it. You kind of have to ninja walk with it, and that's going to give you your best result. You're just going to have to practice with it and find out what works best for you. But I'm going to show you some test footage and what it looks like to walk around with it. Now another thing you can do with it is you can actually turn it upside down and get some cool low shots. You just turn the image back around in post when you're editing it, but you can get creative and get some really cool shots low to the grass. You may have to adjust it a little bit more if you do that, but just something else you can do. So don't take my skills as what it actually is going to look like for you. I'm not the best, and it takes a lot of practice to get good with these things. I think that this is definitely a competitor with that $500 HD Glide Cam. If you're on a budget, this will get the job done for you. Real estate videos, it's great for going around the house or the backyard, and it adds a whole nother level of professionalism to your footage when you get it stabilized. So with that said, guys, I can definitely recommend this product, and I don't think you'll be disappointed with it. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you haven't done so already, please hit the like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video. We are the last, we are the